This week's Killed in Action. Specialist Isaiah Booker, 23, United States Army, killed in operations in Jordan. Local veterans that have served and passed. Haley W. Anderson, U.S. Navy. In memory of the Dark Horse, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, killed in combat operations in Afghanistan, December 30th, 2010 to January 3rd, 2011. Justin Allen, Brett Lindley, Matthew Wickert, Justice Bartlett, David Santos, Chase Stanley, Jesse Reed, Matthew Johnson, Zachary Fisher, Brendan King, Christopher Goat, and Sheldon Tate. Veterans around the state and nation. Thurston Gaines Jr., U.S. Army Air Corps, Tuskegee Airman, World War II. Harley Ivy, U.S. Air Force Reserve. Dennis Phelps, U.S. Navy. John Lewis, U.S. Navy. John DeVore, U.S. Air Force. Michael Collins, U.S. Army. John Donovan, U.S. Navy. Lester Sheets, U.S. Navy, World War II. Albert Robertson, U.S. Army. Willie Hamilton, U.S. Army. Alan Felt, U.S. Army, Korea. Donald Harvey, U.S. Marines. Robert Lutter, U.S. Marines, Korea. Kenneth Zimmerman, U.S. Army. Douglas Penner, U.S. Army. Frederick Williams, U.S. Army. Donald Rhines, U.S. Army. Lamar Colley III, U.S. Army, Iraq. Leonard Saunders, U.S. Army, World War II. James Donato, U.S. Army, World War II and Korea. John Merriman, U.S. Navy, World War II. Samuel Buka, U.S. Navy, Korea. Bigelow Francidi, U.S. Army, Korea. Wallace Jackson, U.S. Navy. Jerome Wilkin, U.S. Navy, Vietnam. Robert Russell, U.S. Army Air Corps, World War II. Paul Lacey, U.S. Marines, World War II. William Ballman, U.S. Air Force. Chester Flamingo, U.S. Marines, World War II. Edward Minark, U.S. Army, World War II. Harold Davenport, U.S. Air Force, Vietnam. Ronald Eglin, U.S. Army. Frank Hirsch, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Argo White, U.S. Army, World War II. Thule Martin, U.S. Navy, Vietnam. James Mathis, U.S. Army, Korea. Daniel Well, U.S. Marines, Korea. Michael Crown, U.S. Army. Alan Eckhart, U.S. Air Force. Ray Peterson, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Michael Mahan, U.S. Air Force. Claude Miller Jr., U.S. Navy, World War II. Joseph Greco, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Charles Weiner, U.S. Navy, World War II. Tracy Brock, U.S. Air Force, Vietnam. Dale Farberg, U.S. Army. John Gaynor, U.S. Air Force, Vietnam. Kenneth Surratt, U.S. Navy. Lorraine Atkins, U.S. Army, World War II. Police and Fire, killed in the line of duty. Detective Chad Parquet, U.S. North Las Vegas Police Department, Nevada. Master Sergeant Deborah Clayton, Orlando Police Department, Florida. Deputy First Class Norman Lewis, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Florida. And Chief of Police Randy Gibson, Kalama Police Department, Washington. Rosie the Riveters, Johanna All, Eva Bishop, Angus Roller, Brooksy Brogtine, Audrey Cornwell, Thelma Johnson, Oma Johnston, Eleanor Jones, Hilda Mathis, Ann Monk, Phyllis Miller, Irina Paul, Eleanor Roosevelt, Bruce Somners, Rosie Starks, and Nadine Thompson. POWs recently recovered. Army Air Force's Second Lieutenant Charles E. Carlson, missing in World War II. Killed in action December 23rd, 1944. Was identified January 11th of this year. Army Sergeant James Sharp, missing in the Korean War. On December 6, 1950, identified January 10th of this year. Sergeant Seasting.
Present.
Petty Officer Knipe.
Present.
Sergeant McKee.
Present.
Lance Corporal Price. Lance Corporal Jonathan Price. Lance Corporal Jonathan K. Price.
Sergeant Corporal Price gave his life in duty to this country, January 13th, 2006. We bid him Godspeed and eternal peace.
Sergeant also Lieutenant Present, sir.
Return to your positions.
Order.